departments in England are busy all the time. Summer and winter, Monday to Sunday. Some of their busiest times, in fact, are during the daytime in the middle of the week when they've got people turning up. And we've got some idea of why they're feeling the strain. It's not just that numbers have been going up. In fact, actually, if you look at the big A&E in hospitals, the sort of things that people think of as a casualty department, it's sort of evened off a little bit over the last few years, but a growing proportion of the people they're seeing are over 65. That means people who maybe need a little bit more care and attention, who might have more complicated problems. They might be on medicines for their heart difficulties or have high blood pressure or other things that the doctors need to investigate more carefully. So it's not so much numbers that are making our A&E departments very busy as the complexity of the patients that are turning up at their doors.
And the argument has been really that a lot of the A&E units are getting kind of clogged up with patients who don't necessarily need to be there, that's their first port of call, perhaps when sometimes it shouldn't be.
Well, one of the difficulties about the information that's been published today by the Health and Social Care Information Centre, they're the big numbers people for the NHS, is that they can't tell us the whole story. So we know that quite a lot of people turn up at A&E and they go away without having had any treatment. But of course, if you're a builder, for example, and you fall off a ladder and bump your head and you've got a bit of a bruise and a headache, it might be quite a wise decision to go to A&E and get that checked out. If it's nothing, they'll send you home perhaps with a bit of sympathy, but it's better to be checked than not. So it's very hard to say how many of the people going to A&E could be seen elsewhere. We know it's probably some could be seen perhaps by their GP. One other really interesting figure, I think, that tells us a little bit about how we're all changing. A lot of the increase in busyness is at the minor injuries units that we've only had in England for the last 10 years. And there's been an increase there of children under the age of 10 being taken by their parents. Parents perhaps plugging into the convenience of being able to get their child checked out very quickly, but also perhaps raising questions about whether or not as parents we're a little bit less confident dealing with minor injuries with our children at home than we used to be.
OK, Branwen, thanks very much indeed for that. Branwen Jeffries there.